Her natural beauty and ultra-slim physique meant Frankie Herbert, daughter of the Queen's confidant Harry Herbert, would always be a shoe-in for modeling. So it was no surprise when, in 2018, she walked for designer Richard Quinn, the first and only catwalk show ever attended by Her Majesty, who sat in the front row next to Vogue. Boss Damana Winter. Shockingly, however, 25-year-old Frankie now claims that despite her enviable modeling credentials, she has been deemed too big by an industry known for its obsession with thinness. "I've felt really overweight and fat recently, which I know probably sounds mental to most people," admits Frankie. "But this comes from the years I spent modeling, being told I was obese because I was an inch bigger in the hips than my agency would like me to be, than the fashion industry would like me to be." Frankie, whose grandfather was the Queen's racing manager, Lord Porchester, has 35 inches hips, the same as Kate Moss in her heyday. It is also the same measurement as Vogue cover star Edie Campbell, who was told 2 years ago she was too fat to open a show at Milan Fashion Week. The average woman's hip size in Britain is 45 inches. Frankie declines to name the agency but was most recently signed to Select Model Management, for whom a spokesman insists that while it no longer represents her, it thinks she has a lovely body. Dolce & Gabbana campaign star Frankie, whose uncle, the Earl of Carnarvon, owns Highclere Castle where Downton Abbey was filmed, has returned to the gym and says, "I'm proud of my body for bouncing back after a while of no training. I used to work out 5 days a week and would really push myself because I felt that if I wasn't looking stick thin, then I was worthless. Changing this disgraceful narrative is something I'm deeply passionate about, and working out since I left full-time modeling is something I do solely for me. Not for a job or money, but for my mental health." Hansie Stanley checks into the local embassy. Is Stanley Johnson taking tips from Julian Assange? After a week facing claims that Hess groped women, the Prime Minister's Hansie father has taken refuge in an embassy. Yesterday, the former I'm a Celebrity contestant posed for pictures at the Czech embassy in Kensington, London, with the ambassador, Marisha Tardova. "My man with the silver tray of Ferrero Rocher tells me, Stanley was at the Czech British Business Forum, where top companies from fields including energy, finance and health come to seek new UK business partners. Hopefully, it won't take the embassy 7 years to get rid of Stanley." Hot priest Scott hotter as Ripley Fleabag's hot priest Andrew Scott reveals Hess making Tom Ripley, the protagonist of the Patricia Highsmith novels, sexually ambiguous in the forthcoming TV series, Ripley. The charming, murderous fraudster was last portrayed by Matt Damon in 1999's The Talented Mr. Ripley, starring Jude Law and Gwyneth Paltrow. If Tom Ripley was in a gay bar, I'm not sure he would fit in. Nor do I think Hess is a straight character, declares Scott. As a gay man, he believes he should be able to play people of varying orientations. Dakota Fanning will play the same role as Paltrow. That's entertainment. I hear former The Jam singer Paul Weller is in talks to land a lucrative deal with Sky after being asked to write original music for their new crime drama, A Town Called Malice, set in the 80s. The show is named after his band's 1982 hit. Hollywood star Dougray Scott reveals not only has he been cast, but that the producers are trying to persuade Weller to get involved. "I think Paul is writing some of the music," Scott tells me. "I'm really excited, Paul's a musical genius. go with the flow or miss out on Eddie. Theatergoers hoping to see Oscar winner Eddie Redmayne perform on the West End stage must take a COVID test, even if they're fully vaccinated. Some tickets to see the Hollywood star in Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club, at the Playhouse in London, cost £325. Now, bosses have upped their pandemic security, saying, due to the intimacy of this production, all visitors to the Kit Kat Club over the age of 18 must demonstrate documentation of a negative lateral flow or PCR test. The production has been criticized for its high prices. Theater director Max Topless says, for £325, I'd expect Eddie Redmayne to sit on my lap for at least Act 1. What a way to make theater elitist. How desperate is James Blunt for a chart-topper? I do solemnly swear that if my new album, out tomorrow, goes to #1, I will never write, record or sing another song for as long as I shall live, the Harrow-educated former household cavalry officer pledges. Perhaps Blunt has done the maths. The chances of his greatest hits outselling Adele's latest blockbuster are so infinitesimal we're sure to be enjoying his music for some time to come. Cutlery's a steal at Top Eatery. So some diners spending £139 on a tasting menu at trendy Michelin-starred Soho restaurant Sola clearly want more bang for their buck. I hear they've been making off with the silver-plated cutlery. Is it okay to ask why they've stolen the silverware? Manager Joe Warwick mused after some well-heeled customers who had just enjoyed dishes such as Scottish langoustine with foie gras, pocketed a set of silver chopsticks. He tells me, guests sometimes get drunk and think nicking stuff is funny. Blaming it on the full moon, Warwick hints that he wants corporal punishment for the light-fingered clientele, adding, I can't, openly, endorse violence on annoying customers. Lucan's in Danish makeover. The Lucan name has been notorious since the 7th Earl went AWOL in 1974 after the murder of his children's nanny. Now, I hear the Countess of Lucan is giving the family a new identity, specifically, a Danish one. The fashion designer Countess, Anne-Sophie, was born in Denmark and now lives in London with husband George Bingham, the 8th Earl of Lucan, and their daughter and son. The children have Danish passports and are bilingual, she tells me at the switching on of the Burlington Arcade festive lights in Mayfair. MasterChef presenter Greg Wallace is in a stew after an accounting error implied he had breached rules to get government COVID support. Accounts for his fitness and nutrition enterprise, Shom Fit Limited, reveal he received a £42,000 business bounce-back loan with £1,200 from the government to pay interest to help his firm through the pandemic. But accountants who filed the company report said they made a mistake by including the loan in paperwork for the wrong company. A friend tells me, it was a mistake by a junior employee. Phew.